Okay, we are going to be going over line 88, the concert B flat major scale. For some of us, you might see something just a little bit different at the very beginning of line 88. If I'm looking at the clarinet or trumpet part, it's going to say C major scale, then in parentheses, concert B flat major. If you are a saxophonist playing alto saxophone, you are going to see that it says G major scale, in parentheses, concert B flat major. The important thing to notice is that it is the concert B flat major scale for all of us. If yours says something different, it's because, like for example, clarinet or trumpet, it's your C major scale because you start and end on your C. So we're going to play through the very first line. Just play the notes. Do not worry about rhythm, just getting the notes. If you're playing trombone or trumpet or even flute, the higher notes you go, the more pressure you're going to have to use. So just one note at a time in your own time or with me. So those are all the notes in the scale. Now, if you're a clarinet player, you're probably thinking, mine doesn't go all the way up. Mine has this big leap down. Yes, it does. So we're going to go through one note at a time again for our clarinet players. Noticing that in the second measure, you've got a big leap from that first space F to that low, low G. So the trick here is going to be keeping your fingers close to the tone holes, not super far away, but pretty close, and moving them all at the same time. So think about snapping your fingers down to the tone holes. And actually, clarinet players, let's just go ahead and play F to that low G a couple times. So we're going to go through just playing notes, no worrying about rhythm right now, and I'll be doing it on clarinet with you. Ready? And... Okay, before we add that with rhythm, let's go ahead and look down at the second line of this. So, the first line is the scale. The second line has two parts. It has the arpeggio and it has the chords. We will not worry about the chords. But the arpeggio basically lines out notes that we might use. So, we're going to go through and we're going to play line 88, the very first top line, this actual scale part. All right, make sure you have your instrument ready to go. Now that the metronome is going, let's tap our foot. Remember, if you're a flute, trumpet, or euphonium player, you're going to have to think about blowing faster air, more air pressure, squeeze your abs. All right, line 88. 1, 2, ready. Right, we're going to try that one more time. Going through at the same tempo. 1, 2, the scale, and... So, clarinets, if you hear a squeak happen, it's because we're not putting our fingers down all the way like we're supposed to, like what just happened to me. So really making sure that you're pushing all of your fingers down and you're closing the tone hole completely. Otherwise, you're going to have a squeak, just like what happened to me. So, now I think we're ready to go through the arpeggio. We're going to play the arpeggio nice and slow, one note at a time. I'll start on trumpet. So trumpets and flutes, as you get higher, and trombones and euphoniums, make sure that you're aiming your air, that you're really pushing the air out using your core. If you're a flute player and you're struggling to get some of those high notes out, think about lifting your chin and maybe looking up just a little bit, blowing across the head joint. So we're going to do the arpeggio now, just one note at a time. Don't worry about having a metronome on. if you miss that high note, try again. That's what we're going to do. Ready? Now, if you're a clarinet player, you're probably thinking, huh, mine doesn't go up that high. That's okay. We're now going to do it with you. So let's add a metronome with that. Be sure to tap your foot. 1, 2, the arpeggio. Ready? And... All right, so that's the arpeggio there. We're going to do it one last time. Start tapping your foot once you hear the metronome. 1, 2, and ready. All right, that was line 88, the concert B flat major scale.